Hi, Jess from Head to Toe Health. We're going to run through a hip mobility sequence now. So you can do some of these exercises or do all of them. What I'd recommend is trying all of them a couple of times and see which ones are more effective for you. Some days, some are going to be more indicated, and other days, others will be more beneficial. So just mix it up if you need to. So we're going to start with a piriformis stretch or a glute stretch. Going to bring that leg across and then lean over that leg. So you're pushing into that leg, pushing the chest down, the hips down into the floor. You can rock in and out of that stretch a few times. Just challenging that end range as you go. If you need to, you can come up a little bit higher and work with that. That will change the stretch a little bit, so it's a good variation. Rock a few times and then settle into that stretch when you're comfortable. Another way to increase the stretch is to just walk that foot out behind you and then hold into that position. So if you're holding these stretches 60 to 90 seconds each side, do one side, then do the other one. So going into a hip flexor stretch, this is for the psoas. You're gonna put the front foot out to the side of the mat, the back foot goes out to the other side of the mat, the knee stays where it was. Make sure your hips are square to where you initially started, and then from there you're going to twist or tuck the tailbone under. So you're tucking the pelvis backwards, flattening through the lower back, bring the pubic bone up, and you get that stretch come on into the front of the hip there. So to make the stretch even more localized, you're going to rotate more the tailbone out towards that front foot. So you'll get more of a stretch in underneath through the inside of the thigh as opposed to the front, and that's actually where your psoas attachment is. So that's going to be much more localized for the psoas muscle. Again, you want to hold that one for 60 to 90 seconds to get most benefit from that. And obviously going back and doing the other side. It's going to go into a frog exercise now. Bring your feet out wide, knees out wide as well. Hands shoulder width apart, and you're just going to bring the hips back and you're opening up through the adductors, through the inside of the hips there, the groin, and then coming forward. So place the inside of the feet along the floor if you can, and then coming back as far as comfortable. Bring the knees out a little bit more as you go. You can do it a bit lower down if you need to. Again, that's a variation. It just depends on where you find you're getting more of a stretch. So use this as a stretch or a mobility exercise. You can hold into one of these positions for 60 to 90 seconds. And do about 6 to 8 of those ones. Okay. And then we're going to go into a squat position. And from there, bringing the knee out to the side. You want to try and maintain your body position really solidly. And we're just bringing the knee out to the side. If you need some support with that, you can just use the elbow to encourage the knee to move out to the side. And just doing one side at a time. And again, this is more of a mobility exercise, but you can use it as a stretch and hold it into that position. And coming onto the mat. From this position, feet shoulder width apart, hands shoulder width apart behind you, opening up through the chest, coming up, and you're going to walk into that position where you're quite folded, so chest against the knees. You're going to come all the way up. This is a really good way to improve your squat, especially if you have trouble getting into that squat position. So about 6 to 8 of those as well. Then coming down, heels together. It's a butterfly stretch, so you're pushing down into the knees with the elbows. Just do a couple of those before we move into the next mobility exercise. Okay, so similar to the last one. From there, we're going to walk back with the hands, and we're going to walk forwards, keeping the knees as low as possible, so you're still trying to open up those hips as you go. And again, 6 to 8 of those. Running through that sequence every day, do it for a couple of weeks. You'll be amazed at the difference through your hips. Enjoy.